Today I'm feeling it. Yesterday was a hard day. Did a lot of work. Introduced those leg raises, hanging leg raises, which now I feel the effects of. My hip flexors are sore, especially the rectus femoris area. That's sore. My abs are sore, and a little bit of kind of obliques as well. On top of that, I also did some deadlifts yesterday. So every time I do deadlifts, and I push kind of the heavy weight, I always kind of feel a little bit sluggish in terms of systemic kind of like lethargy and fatigue. So that's kind of how I felt when I woke up this morning. I tried to eat a whole bunch of food before going to the gym, and I felt quite sluggish. I started warming up and I realized it wasn't going to be a good day. I got up to 180 kilos for one, and I thought, okay, maybe I can warm up through this. Like kind of yesterday was kind of a similar situation where I was feeling tired, I was feeling off, the hips were kind of feeling upset. But then, as the warm-ups kind of continued, as I was kind of experimenting with the hip flexor kind of activation, I started feeling better and better. But today, I hit 180 for one once. I did some more leg raises in between. And I was just feeling like it wasn't getting any better, it was getting worse. So I kind of, called it there. Now that I sit back and I think about it, I think I shouldn't have done what I did today with the deadlifts. I also tried deadlifts again. I kind of felt underdone after I hit the 180 for two singles. I was kind of sitting there after I finished the 180 second time around. I was sitting there thinking to myself, what do I do next? Do I try put on the ollie shoes? Do I go to the deadlift? Do I go to the pin squats? Do I, what do I do? It kind of got me thinking, you really know what's involved in a movement when you kind of hit one of those, I guess, nails on the head. What I mean by that is, we all know that, your quads and glutes and core is kind of, needed to feel strong in the squat or the deadlift for that matter. But when you when you exhaust a particular part directly, and then you come the following day, you really kind of realize what that particular part means to that movement. For instance, core. It's incredible, man. Like, yesterday I smashed my core. I did leg raises, I did knee raises, I did that seated psoas curl business. This morning I've woken up and I felt like I am just dragging myself around. Core is everything, man. I know I've kind of been hot and cold with core work. I've, earlier, like 3 months ago, I was hell about core. And then I kind of like phased it out somehow, and I've come back to it now again. Core is one of those things that you feel a lot more weaker when you don't have the core there. So yesterday I've kind of smashed myself. Today I feel weak. And I think predominantly because, I did a lot of squatting yesterday. Also because of the overwhelming hip flexor work that I did. Going to the squat today, I kind of felt not the discomfort that I felt yesterday, but I feel insecurity, I feel weakness there. So that tells me that I need to get the hell out of the gym and go home and freaking rest. Basically, that's what it means. But knowing myself, I just wanted to kind of give it a good go today, warm it up. I warmed it up, and this is what I always say to you guys, you never really know what your brain is trying to, when the brain is trying to trick you, when it's not. So even if you're sitting on your couch on a morning that you're supposed to go to the gym and you think to yourself, man, I feel shit today. I don't want to go to the gym, man. I just feel crappy. I just ate this food. I got to digest, blah, blah, blah. All I ever say to you guys is just rock up to the gym, or even just wherever you work out, even at home if you got a barbell or whatever you want to do, and just warm up. Just warm up. Get the blood kind of running around, and then make the call there. Don't make the call on your couch, because if your couch is always going to tell you, man, just keep sitting here. We're all right here. Just turn on Netflix, man. That's what we should do. That's what the body's going to try and make you do. But if you get your ass up and you go to the gym and you warm up, I went to a freaking 180 times one. You don't have to do that. Kind of go up to like 50% of your one rep max. Warm up, and then make the call there. I warmed up today and I was like, yeah, I'm still feeling shit. But I continued on with it because it's my day off. And I said this yesterday to you guys. I feel like I have these, I guess, deload days every time I work. Especially in the mornings, man. I feel like I don't do any real work in the mornings. When I get up at 4:30 and I train at 5, or something has changed in me in the last sort of month or two. Ever since the annual leave that I've had, these early morning sessions are now becoming brutally difficult for me. I don't know why. I used to hit 180 in the mornings all the time. But now I wake up and I'm like so damn sluggish, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm kind of accustomed myself to to like middle of the day workouts. I've accustomed myself to having food in the belly. I don't really know what it is. Back in the day, man, if you guys have followed me for long enough, you'd know that I've always kind of worked out on an empty stomach. And now, since upping my calories, I've kind of forgotten about how to work out with freaking empty stomach. Now I need food in my belly, otherwise I feel lethargic, I feel shit. So anyway, I think something has changed in me. And so these days when I'm working, I just feel like, I hit 150 for one the other day, the other 2 working days. No back off work, no real pin squats, no deadlifts, no benching, no anything. It's just, I feel like I get up and ruin my sleep for nothing. That's what it kind of feels like. So I wish I was kind of hitting around 80%. I mean, I think I used to do this back in the day all the time, but I can't even do that anymore. So I don't know what's going on with that. So for the days that I'm not working, I feel kind of obliged to kind of push a little bit harder, because I know I already have a scheduled deload day, if you will, easier day. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now, because if I have, these light days, even on days off from work, then I'm having too many freaking days off, from working really hard. And so today really shouldn't have been a 180 times one day. It shouldn't have been a 220 deadlift day at all. Even though, like, when I look at this, like, it doesn't look too bad, but like internally I was like, man, this is freaking heavy, man. Like yesterday the weights were kind of feeling a lot better. Today they're feeling slower. So I think my body was trying to tell me, just chill, dude, chill today. But my brain's saying you're gonna be chilling in tomorrow, basically. Tomorrow I got a night shift. So basically a night shift ruins 2 days, right? Because tomorrow I'll be working out again, obviously. I'll be doing some squatting. I'll go to the gym in the morning. But if I go bonkers tomorrow, I know fair well that I'm not going to be sleeping. So I'm doing myself a detriment if I, bust my balls in the gym tomorrow and then spend 12 hours on a night duty, come back, sleep, shitty sleep. We all know when you sleep like during the daytime, it's not the same quality as nighttime. So it's kind of 2 days of kind of being disrupted, and some probably the third day as well, because your body's trying to acclimatize itself and work out what the hell is going on. So these are the troubles. These are the troubles that I deal with. So I don't I don't have the best kind of case scenario approach to these type of things other than auto regulation. This is kind of what led me to kind of think about this as a genuine training plan for me, because if I was choosing a perfect day to train while working, all these 12-hour shifts, dude, I'll be training once a week, man. Because really, like, shift workers never really have, unless you're on annual leave, a shift worker never really feels 100%. Like, I don't know. Some of you guys are definitely shift workers, you probably know. There's always this jet lag feeling about you, always. You just kind of get used to that. That's kind of what you do. You feel shit. This is kind of the business we're in. So if I was waiting for a day where I felt mint, dude, I'll be training like once a week, man, if that. And probably even not that. Like, it's just, this is the way it is, man. This is the price we pay to work shift work. So tomorrow I know I'm going to come in and I'm going to be like, okay, let's do something. I don't know what, but I'll warm up and I'll call it there. I don't really know what else to kind of think about that. But so I have the kind of this pressure to kind of train harder on my days off, because on days I'm working, they just have to be lighter days. I've done this in the past where I've pushed even hard on the days where I work, and it's just, I don't know. You kind of screw yourself. You're kind of burning the candle on both ends at that point, because you guys know what my night shifts mean to me. Shit sleep, shit food, lots of stress, lots of disruption hormonally, and so. Yeah, I guess our chats from before, when it came to the 16, 17 days of 200 kilos for one in a row that I did during annual leave, I guess it's night and day performance, man. It's night and day. But anyway, that's kind of what I have to do. Today, you guys saw me doing a whole lot of leg raises, hanging leg raises. I did them while I was squatting, supersetted that with them. Supersetted the leg raises with the deadlifts, just a whole lot of leg raises. And the idea there was, I know I smashed them yesterday, but when you find that something that freaking works, you just want to do it all the time. I basically did them while having DOMs. Not the greatest idea, I know, but I just really wanted to kind of explore their effect, whether I felt good because of them yesterday or I just felt good because of yesterday. I want to see this 180. It's really interesting how leg raises make your lower back feel. I know leg raises are a hip flexor movement, iliopsoas, rectus femoris. And one of you guys actually asked me, how the hell does it make sense that my abs actually hurt? I've explained this in the comments, and I'll take a second to explain it here as well. So we know that your abdominal six-pack muscle doesn't insert into your leg, right? So you can't move your legs up with your abs. What's actually happening there, and the reason why we have DOMs in our abs, is because the iliopsoas originates from our lower back vertebra. Okay, it's T12 to L5, and it's like a fan muscle and it inserts into our femur. So that muscle, when that thing contracts, it brings our leg to our chest. Now, if we didn't have our abs stabilizing or anchoring that psoas, what would happen when that psoas contracts is we would have hyperlordosis. So if you think about the insertion point and the origin point of the psoas, when the muscle contracts, those 2 points want to get together. Well, those 2 points getting together would mean the femur comes up and then your lower back really kind of arches. What the abs do is that the abs kind of prevent you from lower back arching. And so in a way, we can say that the abs stabilize the lower back while the psoas does all of the primary motion of the legs. So even though a lot of people are like, oh, dude, you're just training your hip flexors when you're doing hanging leg raises, they don't understand that there's actually a stabilization effect happening, by the ab muscle, rectus abdominis. So it's kind of like a secondary motion that's happening. You're kind of resisting that arching of your lower back while the psoas is doing all of the work. So this is why I have DOMs in my abs and my obliques, and why I have obviously some DOMs in my rectus femoris, the quad muscle. This fella came up, another subscriber, another pleasure freaking moment to actually speak to him as well. He watches the videos every day. So I love putting you guys on the screen. I love putting faces to these comments. So any chance I get, I always ask the fellas that come up to me, do you mind if I show you in the video? And everyone so far has said yes. So it's really, really cool to kind of share the screen with a subscriber. It's a cool feeling. I love it every time. It makes me feel unbelievable. So yeah, I think leg raises are incredible movement. Somebody said in yesterday's comments, Dave Tate recommends doing leg raises when you're squatting. It makes me feel good. It makes my lower back feel bulletproof. Yesterday I deadlifted. Today I deadlifted purely because my lower back felt so damn strong because of these leg raises activated everything that was kind of required for me to pull. So anyway, do I do them every day? I feel like I want to say I want to, but obviously I'm going to have to kind of, back off some days. I can't be doing, leg raises every single day. Although I kind of feel like maybe it's a 1-to-1 ratio between the squat and the leg raises, because in a way I'm thinking to myself, the squats are hip extension. Why don't I train it 1-to-1 ratio with hip flexion? So every squat I do a hip flexion. So exercise with the leg raises. So anyway, that's kind of still in the oven. I'm still thinking about those ideas. But definitely a keeper. And it's making my deadlifts, man, I did deadlifts again today because of these damn leg raises, making me feel real good. And then what you're seeing here is some benching. I haven't done benching in more than a week, I think. I did Bilbo again. So worked up to a comfortable training single. I think it was 110. And then I stripped the bar back to 60 kilos and I ended up doing 30 reps with that. So that's called the Bilbo set. I keep repeating myself with this stuff. A lot of guys don't know about the Bilbo. It's unfortunate because the Bilbo videos on YouTube are kind of crudely translated. It's Spanish. When you go on the website, it's kind of hard to get around or whatever. But my understanding is you do a Bilbo set like this, like somewhere between 30, 40, 50 repetitions, and then you do your kind of normal stuff where you're kind of hitting 8 to 12 rep range. So I did 60 kilos for 30 reps. And then I put on 80 kilos and I tried to do 3 sets of 10 with that. I ended up doing 10, one set, 5 the next set, and then 10 in the third set. The reason I did 5 in that middle set is because, I didn't rest long enough, and freaking after the 4th rep, I was like, I'm done. So, and then for the third set, I kind of rested a little longer and I got some more reps in there. But a lot of you guys have said to me, I look jacked. My cameraman also said, dude, the cameraman thinks that the squat has something to do with it in terms of the rack. When I'm racking the bar, the high bar rack, there's a lot of, I guess, force going through the arms, through the upper body. The cameraman was asking, do you think it's actually related to your, the fact that you're racking these heavy ass weights every single day, also the pin squats as well? And I didn't know what to think about that. I said to him, I don't think so. I don't think it's that related, because most of the weight of that bar is on my shoulders. I'm not actually using my arms to do anything really, other than just, I don't know, making sure that it doesn't roll off. I don't know. I don't feel any DOMs ever like in my upper body when I squat. But that was a thought experiment. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I think it's mostly because of the bench press. Like, basically I do these bench presses. Well, I scared my cameraman there. He thought I was going to fail this thing. That was kind of funny. We laughed about this later on, because he was kind of stabilizing the camera, and then he thought, shit, my man's going to die. So he kind of jumped in almost. I think the reason why my arms have kind of look a little bit better than, say, in previous months, number one is I'm wearing these tops all the time. So you guys are seeing my arms. I've just spent basically 6 months in jumpers and t-shirts. So that's probably one thing you guys haven't seen me. And the other thing is, I think these Bilbo sets, these high repetition bench days, are now happening regularly once a week, and I'm fully rested when I come back to it. So maybe I'm kind of bodybuilding with this thing, whereas with lower body stuff, I'm kind of doing powerlifting training. So I think that's why my legs don't look as big as my upper body, because they're kind of two different training philosophies, if you will, when you compare the upper body training and the lower body training. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys tomorrow's video. So let's see how I pull up. If I have enough hip flexor fitness tomorrow to actually get out of bed. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.